It's the middle of the night, and my loving mom is frantically but silently waking me and my 10-year-old sister up and instructing us to go outside and get in the car. We get in the car, and she starts driving and eventually tells us that we're leaving the country. It's the only way that we can escape from them, the dangerous people who are stalking and harassing us. My sister and I freak out. What? Leaving the country? But what about school? What about our friends? What about my clarinet that I rented from school and would need to return? We barrage my mother with these questions in the hours-long drive, but she ignores us, save for an out-of-character, frustrated moment of telling us she wishes she'd never had us. She's trying to save our lives, after all. We stop complaining. We arrive in Canada to a relative's home and sleep for a day. But by nightfall, my mom realizes that the people who are stalking us may have tracked us down. We leave again at midnight as quietly as we can, but I accidentally slam the car door. Immediately, a car drives by, and we realize that we've alerted them to our movements. My mother is beside herself, and I experience a guilt that will never leave me. She decides to drive as far away as we can. Surely they would tire of their efforts and leave us alone. We drive the entire East Coast from Canada to Atlanta. But once we get to Atlanta, a place where we know no one, we don't know what to do. And the people who are stalking us still seem to be on our tail. So my mother prays and reads the Bible until she hears an answer from God. We should go to Boston. That night, we begin our travel back up the East Coast, but our poor, scrappy little car is starting to give out in South Carolina. We absolutely panic. We're terrified. We slowly make our way off the road, but the distance that my mom had put between us and the cars that were behind us is closing. I look behind us, and the menacing lights of the cars are getting closer and closer. My sister and I duck down in the back seat, me in shocked silence, my sister quietly crying. My mom screams that they're going to kill us and cries out, "Lord, save us. Prove yourself to these children right now." To this day, I cannot tell you how that night ended. I don't remember going to sleep. I don't remember getting back on the road, and I don't remember how we ended up in Boston. What I do know is that once we get to Boston, we were taken in by a church leader we called Mother Goldburn. She had livable space in her attic that she welcomed our family to stay in. Living with Mother Goldburn and immersing ourselves in church is a stabilizing force for our family. Yes, we're still being persecuted and stalked. Our phone is tapped. Our house is bugged. Every time we leave the house, we have a tale. But God was in control, and we felt some sense of protection living under his watchful eye. Religion, school, and Mother Goldburn's attic give us structure which we needed after years of living in and out of homelessness. You see, living on the run from the people who were stalking us, my mom could not work consistently, and we could never afford to live in a proper home. In the best of times, the three of us shared a single bed in a room in someone else's apartment or home. In bad times, we lived out of that same scrappy little car, surviving on food that was free or scavenged, bathing out of sinks in public bathrooms, and even urinating into Tupperware containers when bathrooms were not accessible. Here at Mother Goldburn's attic, we are spared these indignities, and we have some semblance of a normal life. However, as a teenager, during this time of stability, I start to question and become very confused about the people who are stalking us. What is their end game? Why are there so many of them? And why harass us for years when they could just kill us and get it over with? And what about that time when I snuck out of my house late at night to meet up with a friend in a dangerous neighborhood and nothing bad happened? I quietly go through high school with these questions and eventually to college. At college, I make an appointment to meet with one of my psychology professors. I go to her office and I unload about all that my family has been through and the long-term organized stalking and harassment. She looks at me with a face of concern and conviction, and without blinking, says something along the lines of, "How long has your mother been mentally ill? Is she being treated?" There is absolutely no doubt in her mind that all my family had been experiencing all of these years was absolutely not real. I am stunned and shocked into this new reality. Sure, I'd had my suspicions, but this was different. This psychology professor was 100% sure. All of those years of running, of talking in code on the phone, of keeping the curtains closed, that night on the highway, that was all in my mother's head, and by extension, my own. It takes years of counseling and education to unlearn my mother's delusional paranoia, but I do forge my own path and pursue and obtain my own PhD in psychology. And today, I work at a university. In fact, the very same university where my new reality was made plain. And now I sit on the other side of conversations with students from challenging backgrounds, not unlike my own. And because of the trials that I've been through and the work that I put in to travel the distance from delusional existence to reality, I am in a position to guide these students with a well-earned sense of hope. Thank you.